Well, hello there. Ed's asked me to put some videos together, so here we go. First off, an introduction. I'm Gary Nance, and I'm the bureau chief for San Diego, American News. So what are we going to talk about? Well, Tulsi Gabbard hits Trump over Saudi Arabia. Well, what the heck does she know what's going on in Saudi Arabia? You know, the Oval Office has a pretty good intelligence awareness. I'll leave it up to the president. BBC tells school children there are more than 100 genders. Now, is that something you should be grooming, telling school children? I don't think so. I think you should let them grow up to be about 18 years old before they have to worry about that. Facebook and Google made a $300 million pledge to save journalism. Well, I'm a journalist. Been doing it I've been a photographer for over 40 years. Been to some news scenes, done a few pictures. Did some cruise book photography when I was in the Navy on the USS Ranger. I submitted 35 pictures, and 5 made it into the 79 Westpac cruise book. So that's kind of a little history I've done. I've submitted pictures to like Lake Elsinore newspapers. Got a few in print. No major news stories. You know, we all try to get those big scoops that you know, get us the big bucks and the notoriety, but you know, that's life. We all move on, find different jobs, and do what we can. Researcher, by the way, I'm reading LaCourte News, LACORTE News online. I subscribe to that. Researcher says people will believe poor quality deep fakes if the video reinforces what they already think. Yeah. Just enforce what they think, what they believe, and that's what's going to happen. So, by the way, I like naked juice. This one's half naked, like I like my women. Free the nipple. Reading on. SNL comedian fired before the first show for making racial homophobic jokes. I think they pulled this out of his history. You know, I remember a time when comedy was funny. Now it's got to be politically correct, and that ruins it. People need to lighten up. You're going to get your feelings hurt when you grow up. You can't control it. Someone's going to say something, you're going to get your feelings hurt. You know, grow up. There's no pain, no blood. You just walk it off. You know. I mean, people. I've been insulted and called all sorts of names. You know what? I just move on. 8 years of Trump tax returns subpoenaed by the Manhattan DA. Now, what the hell does a Manhattan DA have any right, power, or authority to see another person's tax returns? What business is that of yours? Do you want somebody years from now wanting to, wanting to dig through your financial records, your tax returns? I don't think so. How's my lighting? I don't like the shadows. I'm going to have to work on that. I actually just turned the lights on, trying to balance out the light, but I don't know. Something I got to work on here. Day one. China targets more American citizens with exit bans. Well, it's kind of a political warfare going on and financial warfare. Personally, I would visit China. I've been to Hong Kong for a week, in and out, when I was in the Navy, but, wouldn't want to live there. I would like to see the United States lease Hong Kong for, like the UK did, 100-year lease. I don't know, a few things to work out in that deal, but I think people in Hong Kong would appreciate it. Snowden warns us all of dangers of artificial intelligence. Yeah, you should worry about that. There's artificial intelligence, there's machine learning, there's facial recognition, there's license plate readers, there's cell phone spoofing. So yeah, it all once those computers and machines start getting smarter, there's going to be a point where humans will be systematically eliminated. Thought I heard something. Question: do you think Justice Kavanaugh needs to be investigated further for allegations of sexual assault? No. It's history. What happened in his teens is really something Jesus, what did I do in my teens, in my young adult years? Oh, moving to the New York Times. President Trump softens on talks of war. I don't want to go into that. Israelis head to the polls. Targeting corruption. Well, anything that Warren or Sanders or Harris, Biden, Gabbard, anything that they say, you know what? They're in an election. They're politicians. I'll just leave it at that. Another email. So. I'll have to read all that later. San Diego Union. I finally broke down to subscribe to the San Diego Union. And then I stopped subscribing to the printed papers years ago because of all the paper clutter that kept accumulating that I had to take out of the house. Digital, I can read it in 30 minutes, turn it off, and I don't have a piece of paper to worry about. So here we have Okay, apparently San Diego, there was at a football game up in Orange County, students of color say that they endured racial slurs. Um, then again, and kids will be kids. Um, I'm not condoning it, but um, if somebody has a recording of it, you know, the actual taunts, that's great. But this again is something that kids will be kids. And at a football game, you're trying to psych out the other team. You're trying to get an edge on the competition. I can understand that aspect of it. I don't think anything's going to happen to it other than a lot of protests. Sticks and stones will break my bones. Call me fat. Hey. SeaWorld loses let another CEO. Yeah, it's a tough company right now. Darrell Issa will face Senate confirmation hearing 1 year after President Trump nominated him to lead a U.S. Trade Development Agency. Issa is considered a potential challenger to Rep. Duncan Hunter. I think Duncan Hunter has kind of run his course. I actually liked Darrell Issa when he was in office. I actually, due to redistricting, I came into his district, and I subscribed to his YouTube channel and watched him actually do his job in all the committee meetings. I think he was doing a good job. Locally, there was a lot of protests outside of his office pretty regularly. California to warn of what vaping dangers. Well, if you're gonna put chemicals like tobacco smoke and vaping into your lungs, you're stupid. Your body doesn't need it. Alcohol in moderation. I can do that. So, well, that's about it. I'm gonna